6, we're going to be doing a weapon overview, or weapon review. So, a lot of you asked me to do a tier list for gears, which I just did. And now I'm doing a tier list for weapons. That I have, at least. There is a weapon you can get from the order, but you have to kill them all and kill the... which I haven't done yet. I've been more focused on Fate and Atlantis, leveling up my Alexios than anything else. Say, come on. Alright. Oop. Completely forgot what's right here. Alright. So, let's go ahead and start it. Alright, so first I'm going to do primary weapons and then secondary weapons. Because it doesn't matter if these are primaries and secondaries, due to the fact that they're both the same. It's just more easier to do it. So, Sword of Damocles, which I don't necessarily use all the time. I use the daggers because it's more easier to actually do damage and high damage. So, high warrior damage, pretty good. Adrenaline per critical, which is good for bows. And there's not really a necessity with swords to do criticals, because you can hit the head. 10% of adrenaline gained. It actually does pretty well for that. It gets like an extra bar, roughly. Like half a bar per hit, pretty much. Plus 20 health and armor. But you can edit out anything you want, so it doesn't matter what you do with that. I usually use the Harp or Perseus, which does 25% hunter damage, 50% critical damage, 25 minus for cooldown duration of all abilities, 25 damage elites and bosses. You can add that in. It doesn't come with the armor, it doesn't come with the sword, it's just a perk you can add into it. Yeah, see that? Go to blacksmith to engrave. You can do that exact same thing to the exotics. You can engrave different type of abilities. Due to the fact that I can get higher health from doing it. So, Cephals of Dionysus. Dionysus? I don't know how to pronounce that. Assassin damage 23%, pretty good. 45 crit damage for bows, and 20% damage of hero strike ability. Nicolos sword, you get this if you kill your father. Actually, no. Yeah, this is where you kill your father. 23% increase in warrior damage. 36% of damage of Athenians soldier, which is usually good if you're doing an invasion. 20% damage of Spartan kick ability, which is kind of fun to use. I love it. So, tier S, tier B, tier A, tier A plus, Mad Captain Sword. 21% warrior damage increase, 16 hunter damage increase, 75% damage block converted to health, but 50% on all resilience is taken away. So you take more damage for you to get more health. That's only if you parry, not dodging parry. This is a tier C due to the fact it takes away your resilience. It does give you necessary health, but at the same time it takes away your resilience, which you end up taking more damage. So, Curse of the Gorgion. Plus 17% assassin damage. 24% increase for poison damage. Intoxicate applies to nearby enemies, and 20 plus health and armor. Tier C-ish. Due to the fact it's not enough poison damage I like. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Plus 17% warrior damage. Plus 18% adrenaline per hit. Plus 2 charges of area's bull charge. So that would be a tier B. All the perks on it is still pretty good. It's not really good for damage wise. Pride of the Lion. Plus 13 assassin damage. Plus 13 adrenaline per hit. Rush assassinate abilities change to one more enemy. So with the assassin ability, it's a tier B due to the fact it will allow you to chain reaction the assassins. Last one for the swords. Malignancy. I'm just gonna call it Milan. Milan sword, plus 17%, plus 7% assassin damage, plus 3% damage with swords, plus 25% critical chance of heroic strike ability. Tier B-ish, tier C-ish. It's not really good damage weapon, but it is pretty good. Daggers. Knife of Delawin. Plus 21% assassin damage, plus 16% damage of warrior. Weapons at a enemies at a weapons level or below can be assassinated, but health capped at 25%. Do not use this sword dagger. You will die 100% of the time. Because let's say this is your health. Well, let me get that lined up perfectly. This is your health at 100%. 25 we'll put it like there. Which means you're gonna die at least 50% of the time. Especially if you're doing the mythical creatures bosses. You will die with a prolonged battle. Do not use this dagger. Dagger I use is Student Forge Warrior Blade. Plus 21% warrior damage, plus 24% daggers damage. Reduce cooldown by 10% on warrior ability kills. Well, a warrior ability kill. Plus 20% health and armor. Momalkus. Plus 17% assassin damage, plus 20% of adrenaline on assassination kill. 200% assassination damage when it's nighttime. Pretty good. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. This is a D+. This will have to be roughly an A. It's pretty good. It has 200% damage assassination, but it's only at nighttime, so it's not during the day. So, other than that, it's pretty good as long as it's nighttime. Edge of Time. Plus 17%, plus 13% assassin damage. 12% increase of adrenaline per hit. Reduce cooldown by 10% on successful parries. Pretty well, good. Roughly a tier B, due to the fact of the parry successfulness. To swing. Same thing with heavy blunts. I don't really use staff, so I don't know a correct review for this. I use spear sometimes, but not really well. Alright, so Griffin Scythe, I don't know why I say stiff. Plus 25 hunter damage, plus 30% adrenaline per hit, plus damage with spread ability shot, or spread shot ability, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty good. Tier B. It's a 40% chance of ignoring half damage, which is pretty good if you're doing prolonged damage. Low chance to gain a 30% health shield when hit. It's not really good, but not really what you want to look for. You want to look for someone that's close range to use your ability. And plus, when they're down or flinched, you can just nail them with the daggers. It makes it so much better with the swords and daggers. I don't ever use these, so I don't know their reviews. Now, going to bows. This is what I use. 25% assassin damage, 20 plus bow charging speed, plus 20% damage with Ghost Arrow's Artemis ability. The only reason I use it is because of the high damage it gives. Alright. Steropes bow. Or Steropes bow. Whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to call it Stirps. Stirps, plus 23 hunter damage, plus 18 damage with bow charge shot, 20% armor health, and 20% fire damage, which has been added into the perk. Second sight. 21% increase of assassin damage, 200% headshot damage, but minus 100% of warrior and assassin damage, which you do not want. This is a tier B to tier D, depending on what you want to use it for. Tier A, Tier A plus, Curse of the Bow of Hades. 21% warrior damage, 32 fire damage increase. Burning applies to all nearby allies, 25% damage increase on elites and bosses. Swift Wing Bow. Plus 17 hunter damage, plus 12% bow charge speed. Back on critical bow charge. Tier A. Fanged Bow. Plus 15% assassin damage, plus 20% poison damage. Basic arrow becomes poison arrows. And my personal perk, 20 plus armor piece. Oh, pressed the wrong button. There it is. Artemis. I'm just gonna call her Art because I cannot pronounce that correctly and I don't want to fuck with the name. Plus 13% damage of Hunter, plus 18 bows charging speed, plus 20% damage. Hold on, I'm getting hiccups. Damage with the Predator Shot ability, plus 9% Hunter damage with critical chance of 2%. 20% of damage of devastating ability. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope this is very useful for you guys. Now, go fight Atlantis. Until next time.